giving this up here. You're turning, you're getting on both your knees, right? It's really hot in here, sweaty, nasty mats, get burns all over your faces, and training that shoulder lock's really gonna help me, because if I get that guy in that right position, now I know where to place my hands, tighten the knees, hold them down, and break that shoulder. Fight will be over really quick.
This move is designed to make an opponent submit, and is inspired by the bone-breaking maneuvers of the battlefield. It was techniques like this that helped Sparta crush their enemies. Perhaps Sparta's most famous battle took place in 480 BC. Just 300 Spartan soldiers fought a heroic last stand in Thermopylae against an invading army of an estimated 200,000 Persians. With over 600 Persians for every Spartan soldier, these were impossible odds. But unbelievably, they held out for 3 days, and when they lost their swords and shields, all they had left was pancration. The brutality and strength of the Spartans has never been forgotten, and continues to inspire soldiers to this day.
And the moves they use continue to be part of the MMA fighter's arsenal. Moves like the Achilles leg lock that Dimitri taught us next.
So you're using the ridge of your forearm right underneath the back of his soft tendon, and then by pulling your shoulder back and pulling
I go
up,
back, and then I turn a little.
it puts pressure.
Yes, I put pressure also here with my knees.
The move begins with your opponent on his back. After breaking his guard, you trap his ankle against your torso and lock your arms against the back of his legs, right on the Achilles tendon. Then, falling backwards, you lock your own thighs around your opponent's trapped leg. The goal of this lock is to stretch the tendons at the top of the foot to the breaking point. The strongest tendons have a tensile force threshold of just over 400 pounds. Applying any more pressure than that can tear the tendons from their base or snap them in two.
Just here.
Yes, the other one also here, down here.
Now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And that.
It doesn't take a lot of pressure to make this move work. Bill's got all of his body weight behind it, just a little lift of the hips and pull back of the shoulder, and I'm limping out of the ring.
Stop here, and turn. And do it. Yeah? And do like that.
This is like your old pro wrestling days, Bill.
This move is really technical. It's really difficult for me. I like it if I could get it in. I think it's something I can use, but it's such a speedy move and it's such a technical move. If you don't know exactly what you're doing and you go for it and you fall back and the guy's slippery, you're in a race to see who punches someone in the face first.
Which is why Dimitri told Jason and I we needed practice in a real fight right now. Jason was up first.
Pancration is so close to my MMA background, I'm able to dominate this guy pretty fast. Feels great.
That's the shoulder lock we learned. Guess it works.
Then it was my turn. This guy was a colossus.
You're gonna try to get under those elbows. There you go. Now use it, suck it, hips. Pass the guard.
I was trying to use the leg lock we just learned, but I just wasn't fast enough.
That's it. One knee in the middle. Now there you go, now push. There you go, now go, pass. Get on top of the mount. Get on top of the mount now, get on top of the mount, get on top of the mount. Nice. Good work, guys.
It's really nice to go against another heavyweight. Most of the time I'm stuck with the little guys, but he had great strength, real compact, good power. So it led to a really interesting match. I tried to go for some of the shoulder locks, but he was really strong. He fished out on me and kept those arms in. You know, maybe a couple more minutes it would have turned out differently, but we do have a fight coming up.
With our stand-up strikes, our throws, and our bone-breaking joint locks, our pancration arsenal is finally filling out.
But we have a long way to go if we want to be ready to face a pancration champ in the ring. To get ready, we're going to one of the most ancient fortresses in Greece. There, we'll experience exactly the same brutal training used on fighters nearly 3,000 years ago, before they faced death in the arena. The Greek poets wrote epic verses about the beauty of these mountains. But we're here to learn how to kill. Our destination, Agostina Castle, to join one of the toughest martial arts training regimes in the world.
Dating to the 4th century BC, it's one of the oldest standing fortresses in Greece. And a hell of a climb to get up to.
The Greeks invent philosophy, diplomacy, theater, but no elevators. There better be a princess at the top of this.
No princess, but we did find the camp of Aris Makris, a world-renowned pancration master and an expert in ancient Hellenic training.
Don't let him move away from you, and then he's got all this room to turn around on you. You move in, you stick with him when he's going down. This is a form of pancration as close to the ancients as we possibly can. What we try to do is basically go with full use of our weaponry. Our legs, our fists, our knees, and then going for the initial takedown as we weaken the opponent.
So you guys put all the different elements together, the grappling, the submissions, the striking, the clinch, the wrestling.
That's right. That's what pancration is. It means total skill.
Perfect. Aris invited us to train with him and his guys, but the invitation came with a warning.
You know, you have to understand that the ancient Hellenics, they trained harder in their methods than the actual competition itself because the competition was so brutal. So if you guys can hack what the ancient Hellenics were capable of doing, I don't think you'd have a problem. But you ain't gonna do that standing here. Gentlemen, you gotta move your butts out and get changed. Let's go.
All right, Captain.
All right.
Let's go get changed. Let's go back here.
We quickly realized pancration wasn't just about moves. It was about preparing your body for battle. To do that, Aris plunged us right into an ancient Greek conditioning routine. This was like nothing we'd experienced in a gym. No weights, no treadmills, just the tools used by fighters more than 2,000 years ago.
First, we drilled with a 150-pound log to bulk up our shoulder and back muscles.
And one, and two. One.
After that, we bench pressed each other's dead weight for 50-rep intervals.
Everybody gets his turn. Nobody bows out. Let's go. Move.
No, don't bow out, Chambers.
So you're how many pounds? 3,412?
Let's go. Put it up.
Needless to say, this was a little easier for me than for Jason.
9. Come on, come on. Push. Up. Come on, Jason. Up. Push, push. Come on, Jason. Push him up. Push.
Nice.
What do you think of that exercise?
It's like bench pressing a pickup.
Then we had a 5-mile run across the rocky terrain around the castle's perimeter.
Let's go. Pick it up. Pick it up.
It was a hell of a warm-up, but Aris reminded us that endurance was key to becoming a true Greek athlete.
There's something that in the Greek world we call the inner pneuma. And that is when you got to reach deep down inside and you got to be able to bring that innermost deep energy that you've got out. So you got to be able to work while you're exhausted. It's when you're exhausted that you can determine whether or not you're a good fighter.
And so the training continued. To perfect our coordination and strengthen our punches, we hurled 15-pound stones, deadlifted 200-pound urns, shin-kicked and elbowed logs wrapped in twine,
17, 18, 19, 20.
and pounded sacks of sand, pushing our bodies to the limit to prepare ourselves for the punishment of full-contact pancration.
Nice and smooth, very good.
I'm more sore today than I have ever been working out at a gym. I'm sore in places I didn't know I could be sore.
Finally, as evening set in, Aris invited us back inside the castle to mend our aching bodies by the fire and enjoy a traditional pancration dinner.
This is exactly what they used to eat. High protein, high fiber, low carbs, and even the type of carbs that they had was very natural. And because it was all stone milled back then, it provided a lot of energy.
So these guys really knew how to eat for fighting.
Yes, they did.
It was amazing to think that nearly 3,000 years ago, The ancient Greeks knew just as much as we did about what to eat to strengthen and repair the body. The protein in the meal would help rebuild the microscopic tears we'd put in our muscles during the day's training. And the balance of fiber and carbohydrates would give us energy for our next day. And we'd need it.
The next morning, Bill and I woke up early to spar like the ancients. Aris taught us that the key to winning an ancient pancration fight wasn't any single move. It was the combinations. Learning to transition effortlessly from standing strikes to throws to grappling, and ultimately to a choke that could end the fight or your opponent's life.
Here's my first window of opportunity. Here's my second window of opportunity. This is where I come in this way. Carry in, that's it, very good. Turn them over right away, turn them over. Pick them up, that's it. Right up, let me see. Up, 1, 2, that's it, all the way around. Take them, flip off this way.
I have a hard time once I get a hold of the neck letting it go.